Unit 2 of W131, and as you realize, the class is already moving along very quickly. This week you have two more discussions due, and I think you're going to find these discussions different and interesting and a little more complex than last week's, all right? Because I'm introducing you to what's called a mill blog, and a mill blog is short for military blog, and I'm also introducing you to some advertising, to some mass media advertising. And the point here is that blogs and advertising are rhetorics, and this is a class, W131 is a class about rhetoric. Rhetoric is any kind of writing, any kind of, even including cartoons, images like that, where somebody or something is trying to persuade you of something. All writing is about persuasion. All writing, rhetoric actually means argument, okay? And all writing is trying to argue with you, not like your parents having a fight or something like that, but trying to persuade you to take a certain position, to buy a certain product, to buy into a certain idea, that kind of a thing, okay? And so that's why I'm introducing you to multiple rhetorics throughout this class. Now, generally, we're going to be kind of doing traditional rhetorics like your research paper and a literary analysis and a memoir, that kind of thing. But this week, I want you to look at blogs, which are rhetoric, and also we're building up towards your PowerPoint, which is going to be a rhetoric, and I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. And I just want you to look at some advertising for fun. So I try to design these discussions to cause you to have a little bit of fun, to introduce you to some new ideas, to get you to do some critical thinking, some brainstorming, to kind of push yourself beyond the envelope a little bit, and to introduce you to a couple of new ideas, okay, that will help you further on down the road in other classes and, of course, in your own life as well. Military blog that I'm introducing you to, this is going to be in item, excuse me, let me go, whoops. It's going to be item 7.1. The instructions are in item 7.1, and they actually do the discussion in item 7.2. You're actually going to be able to talk to some soldiers live in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it won't be talking per se, it'll be writing. That's what a blog does. A blog is written. But you can actually go there and make some direct posts to some direct commentary by soldiers actually out in the field. And I'm doing this because we live in an era, again, where many of you are touched one way or another through your families, through yourself, through your spouses, that kind of thing, with these very long ongoing wars in the Middle East. And it gives you an idea, it gives you a closer feeling for what's really going on there, and it also exposes you to a more modern form of writing. Okay, so that's the point with a mill blog. So please pay a lot of attention to item 7.1, those are the instructions, and then dig into item 7.2, which is the actual discussion itself. You'll need those instructions because I want you to make some direct commentary to the blogs of the soldiers, which is explained in item 7.1. Then in your own discussion, you can use those same posts that you made to soldiers. You can use those yourself in your discussion here for item 7.2, and then also talk about how you feel about dealing with this military blog. I think all of you are going to be quite surprised by this. Item 7.3 is fun. It's a video that I want you to watch, and I want you to discuss the content of the video. That's the one about mass media, not advertising. It's an issue that touches all of your lives. It really does. So the point about the discussions, once again, to reiterate, is it causes you to kind of feel like you're in a classroom, in a community of learners, and it causes you to push through some ideas, kind of improve your critical thinking skills by causing you to think beyond the conventional wisdom, to think a little bit outside at the edge of the box, so to speak. All right. Okay, I've already gotten a lot of, basically the discussions are the big issue for this week, but I've gotten a lot of questions already about the PowerPoint. That's due at the end of week 3. That's great. I love questions. Okay. The answers to all your questions are outlined very carefully in the table of contents for this unit, for Unit 1, okay? First of all, I'd like to go over again the point of the whole PowerPoint exercise is part of it is because it's a new rhetoric. And PowerPoint is very similar to the web. It's very visually oriented, and it's very oriented in chunks. And that's the way the World Wide Web, that's the way web pages work. They kind of give you chunks of information, and of course they're always very visual. And that's what a PowerPoint is. So I'm in this case trying to help you write towards the web. That's where a lot of writing is going to take place in the future, of course. And then also I'm using it as a class icebreaker. So if you would be gathering some photos together, if you need to scan some, you can go to any computer lab on campus and scan pictures there. The lab above Walb is one of the best, okay? Second floor Walb has a huge lab. There are people there to help you. There's also the Studio M upstairs in Walb, which would help you scan pictures too. So there are a lot of resources on campus, and most of you already have your pictures digitized anyhow by now. So if you don't, find a scanner someplace, please, and scan some pictures. I'm just looking for family pictures. So the point of the PowerPoint, as I said, is to get you to think about this new rhetoric, this web rhetoric, but also towards traditional writing. It's very helpful, and this is why we're doing it now, is because it causes you to get organized, it causes you to brainstorm your writing, it causes you to think ahead. And that's always my goal as I teach writing, is to get you to think ahead, to think about your projects, to think about your writing. It's called metacognition, thinking about your thinking, to get you to do this thinking ahead of time, and you'll find out that it's much easier to actually write with detail and write with organization if you've been planning your writing all week long, not just waiting to the last second. And of course, with the PowerPoint, you can't wait because there are lots of different steps. And I've been getting questions on exactly what I want, so here are the answers to them. If you look at item 9.1, you'll see some student examples. Those are pretty clear. If you look at item 10.1, you'll see the grading rubric for PowerPoint. And rubrics are a learning tool to help me assess your material because they give me categories to look at, but they help you learn because those specific categories tell you what I want you to be learning, okay? So if you look at item 10.1, if you look at the rubric, that really outlines in quite a bit of detail exactly what I'm looking for and exactly how I'm going to assess this. Now, item 11.1 gives you the specific criteria for all of the assignments in Unit 1, all of the writing assignments, of which there are 2. There's the PowerPoint, due at the end of week 3, and then there's the memoir, the literacy narrative, due at the end of week 4. So item 11.1 is critical for your understanding of the PowerPoint. And then there's also something called a writer's memo. This is outlined in the syllabus, and I re-outlined here, item 11.2. You will be turning in a writer's memo with the PowerPoint. That said, the PowerPoint gets turned into 2 places. Okay, if you'll look, you'll see that it's due as a discussion in item 8.1, due January 30th, due at the end of week 3. Item 8.1, it's due there as a discussion where you all can share it as an icebreaker, but I can't grade in any kind of detail anything out of a discussion because it's a public forum, okay? So I need to do the actual grading in the assignment drop box. So if you'll go down to item 11.3, you'll see the PowerPoint drop box, and you'll see that that's also due at the end of week 3. I'll go over this again early next week, go over the PowerPoint one more time, and then also help you prepare for the actual writing essay, the actual written essay that will be due at the end of week 4. So this week you have 2 discussions. That's at the end of week 2. At the end of week 3 you have the PowerPoint, and at the end of week 4 for the same unit, the final week of the unit, you'll have what's called a literary narrative. It's like a memoir, and I'll help you with that as we get closer. So hey, as usual, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Use my Blackboard mail. And don't hesitate to sign up for a Skype office hours if you'd like. I'd be glad to meet with you on Skype. Just send me some times to the Blackboard mail when you can meet, and we'll kind of go back and forth until we find an exact time. It's a lot of fun. Skype's easy to download. It's easy to use. You don't need to have a camera, okay? That's fine. I'll turn my camera on so you can just see me acting at you. But all computers have microphones now, so we'll be able to just go from there. So hey, get in touch with me if you need me. Bye now.